I was thinking today about people and how they fall in love. You know, sometimes there are people that I think that they enjoy the high dive of a swimming pool. And I think that's sort of an analogy for love, okay, where the pool is love, okay, and how you enter it is that they like to get on the high dive. And it's very thrilling and exciting and awesome for them because, it's a big fall and it's like just overwhelming, and it just, takes them so deep so soon to plunge, right? And maybe there's some people who are lucky with that and they can make it okay. But most of the time people like that, they tend to get out of the pool as quick as they got in, because once the thrill of falling in has been done and going to those depths and all, they're kind of done with it and they're ready to get out because they want to get on the high dive again. And you have to be careful if you're that kind of person, because you might spend your whole life just diving and really not getting sustained. And then you have to be extra careful if you're with somebody like that, because you might think this is the way it's going to be, where you fall in so deep and you stay there, but usually that's not the case. Then you got people who like to wade into the shallow end. They want to get used to the temperature and they like to build and they like to stay there a while. And that's not a bad way, because you can actually spend a lot of time in the shallows getting to know somebody and, building a friendship and then gradually acclimating yourself to the deep. The trouble with that is there's a lot of other people in the shallows too, and if you just stay in the shallows, well, it stays shallow. But it's not a bad way to build if you actually are progressing gradually to the deep end of the pool. That's actually a pretty good way to do things. But for, I think, most people, the best thing is you do need a little bit of excitement, and you do need a little bit of fun, and you do need a little bit of taking a plunge. But just a good dive into the deep end, but not so high that you go all the way to the bottom to the deep at first, not so shallow that maybe you really never get past the shallow, but maybe a little dive into a end that is somewhat exciting but not overwhelming. And the reason I tell you this is I see a lot of people who they get stuck in the shallows and then they end up pining for things that they're not going to get from a person. Or I see a lot of people who get involved with the high diver and then they are unsatisfied because they can never really regain that. Try to keep balanced in your romantic affairs for your best shot at happiness, and try to go off the regular dive and kind of make it a smooth dive and see if you enjoy being in the deep before you make anything final. Or not, it's up to you. That's just what I'm talking about today.